This is Professor Albano, and this is an introduction to the CIS 140 Networking for Business course. So the purpose of this course is to give you a good overview of networking, as in Network Plus, because this course gears you towards Network Plus. But the main reason for this introduction to networking is so that you'll be prepared to take your Security Plus certification. Security Plus certification is the key to getting a cybersecurity job, okay? So basically, these courses, we have the 130 course, prepares you for this. The 140 course prepares you for this. The 240 course prepares you for this. And the 270 course prepares you for the cybersecurity analyst. So basically, after the Security Plus certification, there's two concentrations you can go into. There's a red team, which is always looking for the flaws in the system. And there's the blue team, which is always looking to defend the system. Because basically what happens in the business world is that the business computers are constantly being attacked. And the job of the cybersecurity analyst is to look and see what's going on. Sometimes it takes weeks and months to figure out what the bad guy is doing before you can actually contain that part of the system and rebuild the system. So basically, just to step back for a second, networking is really, really important because all the computers are networked. And in this course, you're going to look at the networking from the user viewpoint and also from the control viewpoint. We'll look at that in a minute with this presentation. So in this course, we're going to use LabSim. LabSim is a great simulator, which includes the whole view of an office, a whole view of an adjoining building. And what it will allow you to do is to click on any one of these computers that are in these different places. This is the actual office. And you could get in there and control and configure the hardware and software. But all computer systems are networked together. All of these are networked together, and all of the wiring goes to this wiring closet. And basically what you'll be able to do in the wiring closet is to look at the switches, the routers, and the servers and configure them. So networking is critical because all computers are tied together. So in LabSim, you'll have access to the front office equipment, meaning the hardware, the laptops and the PCs. You can install internal components and the external connections. In the software, you could change the operating system to make the computers operate properly within the network. But the key to it is going into the network closet, what I call the back office. And in the back office, you have all of the computers that are connected here in the office, go through the patch panel, through the switch, to the router, to the outside world, and are controlled by the server. So this is like a little block diagram, but what you'll actually be able to see is the front view and the back view of this rack, and being able to set up and control the switches, the routers, and servers to make them work together properly in the network. So that's a great use of LabSim. Okay. I choose LabSim for this course because they have great lecture materials with videos and concise fact sheets for like little books. And they give you good hands-on labs, videos to show you what to do. And so then you'll have labs and you'll be able to do the lab and you'll instantly know if you did it correctly. And if you had any errors, it'll show you the procedures on how to do it correctly. Okay. Now, what we're using in this course is simulations. LabSim is a simulation. In many other courses, operating system, server, other courses, you're going to be using virtual machines. Now, the beauty of using simulation is that it's exactly repeatable, which is really good for learning. So when you're doing a lab and if you didn't do it properly, you can go over and repeat it. It'll repeat exactly the same, okay? So that's the advantages of simulation that we'll be using in LabSim. Disadvantages, it does not simulate everything. everything. That should be everything. Okay. And basically, it only simulates what you need to do in order to accomplish a task. Okay. The disadvantages of virtual machines is it takes time to load. And if you're doing a lab over and over again, it may not be repeatable. Okay. But the big advantage is it behaves exactly like a real machine. So in this course, we're going to be using simulation and lab sim. Many other courses, you're going to be using virtual machines. Okay. So how does this course use lab sim? Each week, you're going to download a Word document. You'll do the modules in lab sim, and you'll know that you've done them properly by having green checks, which you'll see in the next slide. And then you'll complete the Word document, which shows a reflection of what you've done, not only that you've accomplished things, but you've reflected on it. And then you'll submit the assignment by Sunday evening. You'll have 2 weeks free access to Lab Sim. So basically read the course outline to see how you get access. Do this right away because you'll have to complete the first assignment within a few days by Sunday evening. So by the end of the first week, you have to submit the assignment. So you got to get access to Lab Sim right away. Okay. And you have to buy Lab Sim for each course. It's really like buying a textbook. So you have a textbook for one course, you have a textbook for another. So you'll need Lab Sim for Network Plus, you'll need Lab Sim for A Plus, Lab Sim for Security Plus. So you have to buy it for each course. If you are in financial aid, you have 2 ways of buying it, okay? You could go to the bookstore, okay, or you can get it online. You can buy it online cheaper and then submit the bill to the financial aid. Or if you're getting it from the bookstore, you've got to go to the bookstore right away because it takes a bookstore a couple of days before they're going to give you access to it. In 2 weeks, you're going to lose access. So you got to do this right away. Okay. Okay. So most of you have used LabSim in the hardware course. So I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but so basically the viewing videos in LabSim is very much like doing it in YouTube. And when I go through YouTube, I always like to speed it up because I can always understand it much. I can go through it faster and understand it at the same rate. Matter of fact, I had a blind student who could actually speed up videos to be 10 times faster, and it would be just like a rattling blur to me, and he would understand it. So you can either speed it up or slow it down. At the same time, you can use closed caption. And this closed caption is a little bit better than YouTube because you can see the complete text and you can see the part that's being read right here. Okay. Also, with regard to taking quizzes, you'll be able to take a quiz and you'll be able to know right away whether you got it right or wrong. And if you got it, and it'll tell you the explanation of why you got it, why it's correct. And by the way, I only accept the highest grade of the quizzes or the highest grades of the labs. Okay. So in the labs, it's the same sort of thing. And basically, most of the problems that you have and I have is when you read a task, you may not read it carefully. So I might go through a task, read a scenario or a task, and there's a whole set of steps in it, and I may skip a step, and then I don't get it correctly, okay? But when you finish the lab, you'll be able to see what you got right, what you got wrong. And the beauty of it is that it gives you the procedure for getting the correct procedure. It tells you what you got wrong and what you have to do to get it right. So you just repeat it again till you get a better score, okay? And when you complete task, you'll see check marks next to it. So when you go through each of the modules, you'll see check marks when you get it. But sometimes the check marks don't come up properly for facts, okay? So do good planning for, it'll take about 5 hours to do lab sim. Sometimes it's going to be more, sometimes it's going to be less. But don't wait until Sunday evening to do the whole thing. You're going to rush through it. You're not going to get a lot out of it. You're probably not going to get a good grade. It is much better if you download the assignment in the beginning of the week, see what's required, and do it in 2 or 3 sessions. And then remember to submit it by Sunday evening. If you don't submit it, it's a 0. A bigger display will be very helpful in LabSim and even in other courses because you could spread the work between 2 areas. At school, I have a double monitor. At home, I have a double monitor. Makes life a lot easier. So you could actually add a monitor to a laptop. It'll cost you about $130, and you could see how to install it here. Okay. A typical assignment is like this. Okay. So basically, these are all of the module. You'll do a module. This LabSim 12 is network security. These are the different parts of it. Since this was a long assignment, I made this one extra credit. And then what you have to do with each one of these, to explain what you learned in each one of these areas in technical terms, what you learned or what you already know, and why is this important for network troubleshooting. And you need a minimum of 300 words for this area right here. Okay. So your grade will be based on the quizzes and the labs. 70% of the grade is there. So there's no reason why everybody can't get 90%, can't get almost all of this correctly, because you can do them over again. So you got most of the grade here, and you get at least a C for it. The difference between a C, a B, and an A is the report, how well you do it, okay? And if you miss an assignment by the deadline, the grade is 0. And that's really important lesson to learn in business. If your boss requires a report from you at 9 o'clock Monday morning, and you give it to them at 9 o'clock on Tuesday morning, you're not going to be around long. So it's really learning soft skills, learning how to do things on time. That's important. Okay. So this is the course overview. So basically, we're going to be going through all of the. This one's a little shucks. This one's not exactly like the right one. Shucks. Darn it, I don't have the right one here. I didn't upload it correctly. But anyway, what you're going to be doing is going through the different LabSim modules. Sometimes you're going to be going through more than one. You'll see that by looking at the last page in the course outline. The course navigation is pretty straightforward. Each week you'll click on something. In the beginning, you'll click on Start Here. And what I've got in Start Here is a few major things. Meet your instructor, a few little words about myself. This is the key thing, the course outline. The course outline has all the information on how to get LabSim, how to get if you don't have Word, how you're going to get Word, etc. Also, this is information on how to book a Zoom meeting. Okay. So how do you get help in this course? Basically, you can get help in Brightspace for usernames or passwords by calling that number. And in the upper right-hand part of the screen, you'll actually see help. Okay. You can get help in LabSim Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., live or chat. Okay. And that's why it's important to do the work during the week. If you have any problems, you can actually get help right with LabSim there. To help with other problems, you can email me versus Brightspace, see me during my office hours, or schedule a Zoom session.